The Coach's Corner is your source. Baseball, football, soccer, and hoops. The Coach's Corner has the scoop. It's the Coach's Corner with Andy.
Covering Tri-State sports, it's the Coach's Corner with Andy on 92.1 The GOAT.
It's the Coach's Corner.
Here's your sports update for Franklin County, Pennsylvania. According to the sports page, last night the Cumberland Valley Christian Blazers kept things close against Mercersburg Academy, but they dropped a 3-0 decision in a non-league girls volleyball match Tuesday. That puts the Blazers at 11-10. Central Dauphin came out on top against Chambersburg in field hockey last night. The Rams hung on for a 1-goal victory over the Trojans on Wednesday afternoon. Central Dauphin, a great team, now stands at 9-8-1. Chambersburg now stands at 1-13 and 0-13 in the MPC. In girls tennis, Chambersburg came out on top against Harrisburg, defeating them 4-1. Despite not having their number one singles player, the Trojans pick up a Mid-Penn Commonwealth victory over the Cougars on Wednesday afternoon at Norlow Park. Chambersburg is now 4-8 and 2-3 in the MPC. In girls volleyball in Franklin County, Pennsylvania, Greencastle Antrim came out on top against Big Spring 3-0. Greencastle now stands at 15-2, 13-1 in the MPC. In girls soccer, Greencastle Antrim came out on top against James Buchanan. Greencastle Antrim now stands at 11-3-1 and 10-1-1 in the MPC. James Buchanan, the victor over Greencastle Antrim last night for boys soccer, winning by a score of 4-3. The Blue Devils now stand at 4-10, 4-8 in the MPC. In Washington County, here are your scores according to the Herald Mail for October 9th. Flag football, Boonesboro beat Catoctin 25-13. In boys soccer, Williamsport came out on top against Clear Spring, blanking them 2-0. North Hagerstown also beat Urbana 3-0, while Tuscarora visited South Hagerstown and came away with a win of 6-0. Walkersville beat Smithsburg 1-0, while Brunswick battled against Boonesboro, coming out on top 7-0. St. James beat Sidwell Friends 2-1. In girls soccer, Clear Spring scored 2, while Williamsport only was able to score 1. Smithsburg and Walkersville played to a tie of 1-1 yesterday, while Urbana came out against North Hagerstown on top in a double overtime thriller 1-0. Tuscarora blanked South Hagerstown last night 10-0. In volleyball, Clear Spring beat Williamsport 3-1, with North Hagerstown taking down Urbana 3-0. Boonesboro came out on top against Brunswick 3-0, while Smithsburg blanked Walkersville 3-0. Tuscarora scored 3 against South Hagerstown's 0, while Allegheny beat Hancock 3-1. Things are really heating up in the Major League Baseball playoffs. The National League Division Series game, the Mets versus the Phillies last night, ended in a 4-1 score with the Mets being victorious, and that claims them the winner of their division for the National League Division Series. They'll move on to the National League Championship Series. The win went to David Peterson, with the save going to Edwin Diaz for the Mets. The Dodgers beat the Padres 8-0, now tying their series at 2-2. Last night, the win went to Evan Phillips of the Dodgers. In the American League Division Series, the Tigers beat the Guardians last night 3-0. Detroit now leads the series 2-1. The win went to Brant Hunter, while for Detroit, the save went to Tyler Holton. The New York Yankees beat the Royals last night in Kansas City 3-2. The New York Yankees lead the series 2-1, with the winner coming away from the Yankees, Tommy Conley, and the save for the Yankees coming from Luke Weaver. Tonight, the Guardians travel to Detroit to take them on for Game 4 of the American League Division Series. The Yankees will take on the Kansas City Royals in Kansas City. Garrett Cole getting the start for the New York Yankees for Game 4. Detroit and New York each lead their series 2-1.
It's the Coach's Corner with Andy.
Covering Tri-State sports, it's the Coach's Corner with Andy on 92.1 The GOAT.
We have Donnie and Miriam Carbaugh, owners of Front Porch Fitness, with us today in Chambersburg. How are you guys?
Doing great, yeah.
Good to see you. We just saw each other last week at the dinner, did we not?
Yeah, yeah, it's good food. It was nice.
Yes, it was good. It was good to actually meet you guys in person too. I think it kind of helped and worked out before we had this interview. So now we know each other, we're familiar, and let's make everybody else familiar with Front Porch Fitness, though. Tell us a little bit about Front Porch Fitness, where you're located, what your mission is.
Yeah, certainly, yeah. Well, we're located in Chambersburg, right behind Dick's Sporting Goods. For those who are local, they know where Dick's Sporting Goods is. So we're right off of Route 30, right close to 81. And we are all about getting people fit for life. That's our mission. That's our motto. And we can help you for that goal, but we'd like to see that goal being, I want to see you at 75 climbing that mountain, right?
Right.
So it's not just about the short-term goals, but about the long-term goals too. We do everything from classes to personal training to small group training to student athletes and to team training. So we do teams also. So we do a little bit of everything, but everything's run by a certified personal trainer. That's what makes us a little bit unique. This isn't like a gym you can just walk right into and work out. This is run by trainers that's programmed specifically for what your goals are.
I think one of those Grant Smith. I talked with him. Yeah, I talked with him before. He's actually going to be on one of my shows coming up here too. So great guy, and he had nothing but nice things to say about both of you. So
Yeah, Grant's a great dude. He's an amazing trainer. He's actually he'll start training my daughter here in 2 weeks.
Oh, cool.
Getting her ready for track season.
Nice.
Grant's not just a great trainer, but a great guy also.
Yeah, he's a very good human being. From just the one meeting that we had together, I can tell that for sure.
Yeah.
So your location, you said it's right near the Dick's Sporting Goods. I did a little research on you. You used to work at Dick's Sporting Goods, right?
Yes, I did. Yes.
I was a former Dick's Sporting Goods employee as well. Now I was in Hagerstown.
Yes.
I was in Hagerstown, but one thing, the one gripe I have about it is when I worked there, we had to wear the green polo and the khaki pants. Were you in that era, or were you okay?
I think when I started, it was just for part-time employees. But as I was in management, so I got to wear the golf clothes.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. No, I mean not much better, but
yes, I really enjoyed my time at Dick's Sporting Goods. I still have a great relationship with the store manager there. They've been behind the scenes stuff you wouldn't even think about with us at the gym. I mean, something as simple as like, hey, I have a delivery that's coming on a pallet. Could I borrow your pallet jack for like an hour? And Dick's has been, she's been the manager there. McCall is amazing, and she's been very helpful, very supportive of my gym back here.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a very convenient location for the gym.
Yes, it is. Yes. Yeah, so you can't come in here and be like, hey, I can't work out. I forgot my shoes. I'd be like, hey, there's Dick's Sporting Goods is right out front. They go grab new pair of shoes. Yeah.
So did you guys meet working out? Were you both personal trainers before you met, or is that something you guys got into after being together?
No, we actually met at church.
Okay.
Yeah, growing up, his dad was an elder in the church that I was attending, and then when he gave his life to Jesus, then we started attending church together, and it all went from there. So
very cool. That's awesome. So with Front Porch Fitness, I know you guys, I saw on your social media, you guys are pitching in to help out with the hurricane relief efforts. The most recent one, Hurricane Helene, and then with Milton coming up through Florida as well. You guys are offering a place to drop off supplies. So I believe, I can't remember the company of the Facebook that you shared, Facebook company you shared, but they're able to bring that stuff there and help out too. That's really awesome. What other kinds of ways do you help out with the community with Front Porch Fitness?
Yeah, we love working with our community. It's one of the reasons why I got into training and personal training myself, was I want to see my community healthy and thriving, and the numbers that I see for our community are not good nationwide.
Yeah.
And so any way I can get involved with the community, I'm with. One thing that we partner with a lot with, or help with a lot, is a local company called Military Share.
Okay.
And being former military, I'd love to support military, first responders, anything like that. And this is like think of it as like a food bank for just veterans.
Yeah.
And it's a great program. So anytime we do anything, we do what we call hero workouts. Every 6 to 8 weeks or so, we'll dedicate a Saturday just for that type of workout.
Yeah.
I make it free to the public. You can bring your kids if they're 13 or older. So it's usually well attended, and we take donations for Military Share for those workouts.
Awesome.
Military workouts are workouts that CrossFit has put out that honor fallen soldiers and first responders. So it just gives you. So I'll do a little intro talking about who this workout's for, who they left behind, and what they've done for our country, and then we do that workout with that mindset, and it really is a special workout.
That's awesome. So what other, so they can find all that information on your Facebook page?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Facebook's the best. Instagram also, and we do have a website, from porchfitness.com.
Okay, great. So how long have you guys had Front Porch Fitness?
Well, it actually started during the pandemic.
Mhm.
We saw a need where people weren't allowed out of their houses, so he and I started working out on the front porch. And
Oh, okay.
he would actually he would video it. We did what, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I think.
Yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
And yeah, so he would do the hard stuff, and I would do everything modified, in the background,
Yeah.
And so we would do that every Tuesday and Thursdays because just to keep people still moving and doing things. And then one of the clients that was on there coined the phrase "front porch fitness," and it stuck. And then eventually we just went with, they were like, "Hey, can you do some personal training on the side after this, 2 weeks?" And it just got longer and longer. And so he was like, "Oh, I'll start doing some training on the side." And then eventually, we got an LLC, and it went from there. So
Wow,
It is pretty wild. Like, so December of 2020, I filed with the state, Front Porch Fitness LLC. Then fast forward just 2 years to December of 2022, I have my open house in my 10,000 square foot facility. So in 2 years, I went from my front porch to 10,000 square foot, and we're doing great now. It's really
That's
been a
amazing.
blessing. Really been a blessing.
That's amazing. So I did see on your social medias as well. I think it was announced today. You announced a new collaboration with Chambers Apothecary. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, we can tease that a little bit. We're really excited
Okay.
about this program. The owners of Chambers Apothecary have been training with me for about 4 or 5 months now, and great people. And getting to know them, we found that our hearts, our life goals really line up, and that's to really see our community healthy, and not just to throw a pill at a person, but to let's really find out what the root cause is and attack whatever the issue is from everything in the environment, not just throw medicine at it. So let's talk about their nutrition, let's talk about their sleep, let's talk about their environment, let's talk about supplements, let's talk about fitness. That's where we come involved. So this program is called Peak Potential, and Chambersburg Apothecary will be rolling it out here in the next few weeks. And we're really excited about this program. It encompasses everything in someone's life to get them, living optimally the best you can, your best your body can live and work. And we want it again, it just rings true with us in our heart with getting people fit for life. And so it was a very easy collaboration with Chambers Apothecary, and we're really excited about this.
That's awesome. That's great news to hear. So with your training aspect of your gym, I know you both are personal trainers. You guys do athletic training for sports teams as well. Do you do individual and team training, or is it just one or the other?
Yeah, we do it all. So whenever I was first launching at my house, that's when I started working with teams. I started personally training one-on-one a softball player. She's sharing with her team what I was doing with her, and they thought, man, this could be really good. So I started training a travel softball team, which then spread. Once you're in that travel softball baseball community, word spreads fast.
Yeah.
And then I started getting more and more athletes. So we really started in the travel softball and baseball world. Now we're training athletes of all sports. I have Grant in-house, who is great with all my track and field athletes. Not just track and field, he does do all the other sports, but his expertise is in track and field, which has been great. So yeah, we see a lot of student athletes. Over this past summer, I had over 200 plus student athletes come through my building for the summer. So yeah, one-on-one, team or small groups, however we can figure it out. Whatever, if a team comes to me, we can figure things out, or if it's just one-on-one, we can figure that out too.
That's awesome. And you both do the training, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
She's more in the
I just do the low impact class for now. I'm
Got
still working on getting certified, so
Okay.
I stick with the stuff that I know.
Yeah.
And then, so I still have a lot to learn, but I do a lot of the management and all that stuff behind the scenes. So
Cool. Do you guys have a preferred sport you enjoy the most in training?
I love baseball and softball, and it's
Okay.
not just because that's this first student athletes I started training. It's because my baseball was my first love. I played baseball, football, basketball growing up, a three-sport athlete, but baseball was my first love. So I really enjoy training baseball and softball players. That's probably if I had to pick one. And then
Yeah.
probably basketball is a close second. Really enjoy training basketball players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a preference, Miriam, of which you enjoy the most?
for me, I just enjoy lifting. Like if I could just stick to lifting all the time, that would be my yeah.
That covers all the sports. I mean, you can lift for every sport.
We like to say
Everyone should lift.
Yes, everyone
Yeah.
should be lifting. Everyone should be lifting. Yes.
So, speaking of lifting, I feel like kids count as lifting. You guys have 2 daughters, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm a 2-daughter parent as well, so I
Nice.
can relate. Are yours as crazy as mine?
Involved in everything.
Yeah.
If there's something to sign up for, they've signed up for it, and they forged our signature, and yeah,
Yes.
we're
Yes.
just there.
By the way, Mom and Dad, I'm playing
Yeah,
this.
Yes.
yeah. By the way, you have $50 off.
Where it's like, yeah, take me to practice. What? Practice?
Yes.
If you joined another band, how many are there?
Yes. Yes.
That's awesome. So, Donnie, you said your first love is baseball. Are you a Phillies fan?
I am not. I'm a Pirates fan.
Pirates. Okay, that was my next question.
So,
I'm
I
assuming you
grew up-
in the Chambersburg area.
So I grew up local, but
Okay.
my grandmother was from downtown Pittsburgh,
Okay.
and she was a huge Pirates fan. So like my intro to baseball was really going to my grandmother's house, and she'd always have the Pirates game on the radio.
Yeah.
So I grew up listening to Pirates games at the radio at my grandparents' house. So I am a true diehard Pirates tortured Pirate.
So football wise, where do you guys stand? Are you Eagles or are you? where are you
So
guys?
So for us,
Pittsburgh.
I didn't grow up. I didn't grow up in a sports family. So my parents were into sports. So I wasn't like born into anything except for maybe Pirates, just because of my grandmother.
Yeah.
So for me, I was in maybe like third grade, and I saw this 5-minute highlight video of Lawrence Taylor, and I was like, oh my gosh, this dude's superhuman. He's my favorite player. That's my favorite team. I'm a very brand loyal person. So like
Okay.
I've been a diehard New York Giants fan since third grade.
Oh man, I think we have to end this interview. I'm a Commanders fan.
Are you a fan? I'm gonna take
Yeah,
it.
what's that?
I take it you're an Eagles fan.
Oh, Commanders.
Commanders. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So we're
I'm all
not.
right with that. I'm all right with
We're
that.
a little further away of the spectrum
Yeah,
than.
and we have a shared hatred of the Cowboys.
Exactly.
The Eagles. So I've always got along great with Commander fans. Yes.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I was the same way growing up. That's how I became a Washington. Well, then they were the Redskins. The football on Sunday was always on in my house, and whether I wanted to or not, I was watching the game. And then middle school, I finally decided, okay, I'm going to get into this. And ever since then, through thick and thin, win or lose.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Are you into any specific sport, Miriam, besides lifting? Do you follow any baseball, football? Do you have any favorite teams?
Listen, for me, football means nap time. So,
Oh, okay.
like, I am here for it. Every Sunday, he gets his snacks. I curl up right next to him. Nap time.
Hey, sometimes that happens while you're watching football, even if you're into the game. So
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, it does.
especially for me and Donnie, our past history of teams. But this year they're doing both teams are doing all right. You guys just got to get rid of Daniel Cunningham or Daniel Jones, and you'll be good to go.
Oh, brutal. It's brutal.
Yeah.
We're paying him and not Barkley, and that hurts my heart.
Yeah, especially since Barkley's an Eagle. That's even worse.
Oh, yeah, you didn't have to bring it up.
Sorry, sore subject. Sorry. We don't have it. We don't have it quite as bad over here in the Washington side. We got rid of Dotson, which I wasn't a big fan of, but he went to the Eagles and he's not really producing. So I was like, serves you right.
Hey, it looks like you got a real one though with Daniels.
I know.
Real deal, brother.
I'm gonna go ahead and knock on wood. It's still early.
It is early, but man, he looks good.
Yeah, he does look really good. So I'm going to ask you one more question here. Do you each have a favorite moment so far as a gym owner, personal trainer, athletic trainer, just an overall perspective, what's your favorite moment so far since you started your business in 2020?
I think my favorite moment is always seeing somebody who thinks they can't do something.
Yeah.
Like whether it's something as simple as like their first box jump, or being like, oh, I'll never be able to lift that amount, and then they go beyond that and crush it.
Yeah.
That's the things that I like to see. I just like to see people do things that they thought they would never do.
Yeah.
That's awesome. For me, the ribbon cutting ceremony was very, very special to me. Just to see the support of friends and family, and so many people who came out who believed in us in this adventure, and they were there to support us, and that is a core memory for sure.
Any plans to expand the gym out further than the Chambersburg area?
Well, listen.
That's a someday.
Listen,
Someday.
I'm a dreamer, man. I'm a dreamer, and my dreams are bigger than where we're at now, and
Yeah.
we'll see where God takes us. I don't know what's around the corner, but my dreams of Front Porch Fitness this is just the beginning.
Right. Well, you guys have a very good beginning from the sound of it. They can tell everybody where they can find you at on Facebook and your website, and how they can maybe get like the pricing for your training.
Yeah. You can reach us just it's very simple. Just if you go to Facebook or Instagram, just type in Front Porch Fitness. It's a very unique name, so you will see it right away. And of course, our website is frontporchfitness.com. All of our pricing and class schedules are on there.
Awesome. Go check them out. It's Front Porch Fitness in Chambersburg. Thank you so much today, Donnie and Miriam, for hanging out. It's been a pleasure, and good luck to your Giants.
Thank you.
Boo Eagles and boo Cowboys.
It's the Coach's Corner with Andy.
Covering Tri-State sports, it's the Coach's Corner with Andy on 92.1 The GOAT.
Hey, I have Bree Metzger here with me. She's the head coach of the volleyball team at Smithsburg High School. How you doing today?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. So Smithsburg High School kind of comes with a reputation for their volleyball team. You guys are pretty good over there.
Yep. Long-standing traditions, a decorated program for many years. So definitely something that Smithsburg holds near and dear for sure. We are 6-3 right now.
Oh, okay.
And in the CMC, we are 5-0 for the Central
Okay.
Maryland Conference.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Your team's doing really well right now, but let's get a little bit of background to you before we start talking about the team. How long have you been the coach over at Smithsburg?
So I've been the head varsity coach for the past 3 years.
Okay.
Before that, I was with the high school program as the JV coach for 1 year. And then
Okay.
I also did a little bit, I think 1 year at the middle school program for the Smithsburg Youth Athletics. So
Awesome. Awesome. Did you play volleyball in school, like high school and through college?
so not through college, but
Okay.
I did play all the way through high school, and I actually attended Smithsburg,
Oh,
won a
okay.
state championship at Smithsburg.
Nice.
And the head coach that I took over for, Rachel Bashir, she is who I played for. So,
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool. Full circle.
yes.
So, did you play any other sports growing up?
Pretty much touched on everything. My main ones were obviously volleyball and then softball, but
Okay.
then it kind of like just dwindled down just to volleyball. So, yeah.
Follow your true passion. I like that. Are you involved in any other like camps outside of the Smithsburg High School, or do you have any? Do you run any like recreational sports or coach any recreational volleyball?
So I actually am also a coach for Liberty Elite Volleyball Club here in Washington County.
Cool.
Yeah, we compete at a national level. So
Oh, wow.
the last 3 years, my team has attended USAV Nationals. This past year was in Vegas.
Oh, wow.
So it's a year-round type of thing for me.
That's pretty cool. It sounds like you get a vacation out of that too in Las Vegas,
Yeah.
if you have
Yeah.
time, of course.
Yeah.
So we did touch on the team here earlier and where you guys sit now. You did make the state finals last year in 2023. Actually went up against Clear Spring,
Mhm.
another local team. Lost a heartbreaker, but hey,
Yeah.
you made it to the finals, and that's an accomplishment in itself. So would you consider Clear Spring your ultimate rival right now?
They're definitely one. I would say the 4 teams that you're going to see that are constantly battling out or of course, Williamsport is 2A this year, and they were 2A last year, but they were down with us. But Clear Spring, Williamsport, Boonesboro, and us, you'll always see, like, that's the competitive nature in
Yep.
the rivalries. But
Yeah, that's exactly how it was when I was at Williams. I went to Williamsport, and I remember the volleyball team was always top notch, and every other school was usually right along there with them. And
yeah,
I graduated in 2005. I don't know if they've won any state titles since then, but I know they won a few when I
they
was
have.
there. So
Yeah, they
yeah,
have. I think their last one was 2020, 2021 or 2022.
okay.
But actually, the daughter of the person that started Liberty Elite was on that state championship team.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yeah, so we have a lot of talented kids in Washington County when it comes to volleyball, and it's really fun to be able to interact with almost all of them on a club
Yeah.
level, and then see them across the net, obviously, in the high school level.
Yeah, that's really cool. So when you started the season this year, the new season, how many returning seniors did you have come back this year?
So I have 4 that were actively part of the team last
Mhm.
year, and then 2 sophomores that were on the team for the full entire season. But
Okay.
this year, my team is actually made up of over 60% freshmen and sophomores.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
Building another dynasty.
so yeah, a really young team when you look at the full spectrum, but
Mhm.
the 4 seniors that I do have are definitely, they're 4-year varsity kids that have pretty much started every single year
Right.
and are definitely a dominant force for sure.
So knowing obviously those players that you have, the freshmen that came on now, or excuse me, the sophomore, they're now sophomores, used to be freshmen, are still playing. They're well aware of the results of the finals and states last year. How do you bring your squad back? How did you bring them back this season to refocus and put that tough loss behind them and make sure they focus on this season?
I would say, I mean, every season's different. So my mindset coming in here is every team's going to look different. We're going to look different.
Right.
The only thing that we are staying true to is our Smithsburg volleyball culture that we have really, like, the kids live and die by it.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing. When you have a team sport like volleyball and you're in such a close proximity with 5 other players. So making sure that we're staying true that, yes, it didn't fall our way. We gave it our best shot. It was, like you said, a 5-set heartbreaker. But this year is a new year. We come in, fresh mindset, still the same goal though. Let's get a state championship.
Yeah.
And we, most of them, obviously, some of the newer kids haven't been in that environment, but for the most part, you know what it takes. It takes that hard work, that dedication, the teamwork, and the culture that we've built to get there. So
Preparing for another championship run. I like that mentality. We'll call you the Patriots of Washington County High School. Sorry if you're not a Patriots fan.
you
We'll
actually
get-
not like it. I'm a Cowboys fan, so and I already.
Oh no. Well, by my reaction, you can probably tell who I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the video with Ryan, and obviously he's a big Redskins Commanders fan.
Uh-huh.
So we're always going back and forth.
Okay.
So.
All right. I'm sure he boasts his banners that he has up there. He showed them to me during the interview. You guys got a good win the other night. The Cowboys came in the last second. Dak finally showed up and proved what they paid him for. We'll touch on that in a little bit. We'll get to that. So, your senior night just happened. Today is October 8th. Your senior night was last night, October 7th.
Yeah.
Do you want to highlight some of your seniors and give them some recognition here, and you can talk about them for a little bit?
Yeah. So we had senior night a little bit earlier this year. Probably not the team we would have normally chosen to go against, and we went against Williamsport, which obviously is a really great team.
Mm-hmm.
But I am 8 months pregnant, so
congratulations.
Thank you. So just in case, we made it a little earlier this year.
Yeah, good idea.
And after all the emotion, everything, everyone, it was truly a team win. We had our middle blocker kind of go down with a little ankle tweak, and so we had some people step in, and everyone just really played their part. But for sure, a good one for our seniors.
That's awesome.
I have 5 seniors in total. My first senior I'll touch on is Chloe Fisher. She is actually going to go play D1 volleyball at Lehigh
Cool.
next year, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So she is our setter, and she just really commands the court. Is a great leader, positive, go-getter, and just I hold all of them near and dear to my heart. So I would say I hold her near and dear to my heart, but I'd say it for all of them. So the next one I'll touch on is Callie Hall. So she's actually my younger sister.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, so really unique opportunity to be able to coach her these past couple years. And
Do you guys ever butt heads?
no, because
that's good.
We have very different personalities.
Okay.
She is very calm, cool, collected, like even kill. I am very competitive, like hammer down.
So you kind of balance each other out. Gotcha.
Yeah. But she's our libero, and she did a great job. Just always leading the backcourt. Like I said, calm, cool, and collected is her thing, and it really showed last night. Next senior will be Emily Ryder. She is going to play Division II volleyball next year at Shepherd University.
Oh, I went there. Nice.
Yeah. She's a right side and a force. People are always like, I don't know how she hits like that. And I don't know how she hits like that. She's lefty.
Natural born talent.
Yeah. But just like when the game is on the line, there was multiple times last night where it was just, you put the ball in her hand, she's going to put it away type of thing and take care of business. And that's what she did, as always. And then Sidonia Seco is also going to play Division II volleyball next year at Millersville University. And so Emily and her will see each other in the PSAC. But she is like our fire. She's also a defender. But she is just a ball of energy no matter what. Like some of them weren't feeling that great yesterday and they just power through, and she's one of them. And like you would never tell by the way that she's throwing her body around, putting it on the line. So definitely another force that we have in our back row. And then our 5th senior is Brittany Medina. And while she didn't get as much playing time last night, she is just the sweetest and everything you would want in a teammate. Someone that's, no matter what is in practice, is going full force, giving it her all, building people up, especially because we have that younger team, like being someone that they can rely on. And so those are my 5 seniors.
It sounds like they all embody each like aspect you want of a teammate and formed as one. It's like one super volleyball team.
Yes, and that goes back to like them buying into the culture that we want to. I'm really big on like volleyball is a lot of mental. It is, no one's gaining a point unless someone's making a mistake. Right. So if you can't check out of that, you really aren't going to have success. So building that culture of just like, okay, something doesn't work, we're going to come right back at it. We're going toe to toe. It doesn't matter. Like we could lose a set, which we did last night, and then we're going to power through. So yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. So I want to ask you a question. I'm not sure if this is accurate to you or somebody else with maybe the same name as you, because Hall is your middle name or your maiden name.
Yes.
Right. And Metzger is your married name. I was doing some research on you earlier in the week, and I found a YouTube video from 2014.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Is it the volleyball YouTube video?
Yeah, where you guys have your own cheers for everybody.
Yes, and
that's all. I loved it. That was so cool. I wish I could like clip it in here and show it because I thought it was the best thing ever. So were you assistant coaching then? Because you said you've been the head coach for 3 years.
No, so 2014 was actually my senior year.
Okay, so you were playing. Okay.
Yeah, so that was my senior year, and we like the student section was amazing my senior year. I always tell the kids now, I was like, it doesn't touch on what it was like, whatever. But so we made that video so that everyone could know the cheers and do them with us. And I guess in a way I've kind of brought that back this year.
Mhm.
Each of our kids have a serving sign, so when they're serving, like everyone on the bench is like doing something for like their name,
Yeah.
which is kind of what you saw in that video.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is
That's
up
cool.
there and out there for everyone to see.
That's one of the things I always liked about volleyball. They always like it's a very even like you said, the fans get into it in the high
Mm-hmm.
school level. I'm assuming the college levels as well. It's probably a little more. I'm not saying you guys aren't professional, but like the college level is a little more. I don't know, stuffy. Is that a way to say it? Like you're there to watch the game and appreciate the game, but in high school you're doing the same thing, but also having fun
Right.
in a
I
different
mean,
way.
I would
I've always enjoyed that.
Yeah, I would say that volleyball has grown in the past couple of years immensely on
Yeah.
a national scale.
Mhm.
And so it has a lot more eyes on it. So a lot more people are getting involved, which is amazing. You have kids like even at Liberty, we have kids starting at like 8 years old
Yeah.
playing club volleyball, which is amazing. But yes, it is a fun environment. Like I said, I'm super competitive. So
Yeah.
that type of environment just like is everything to me. And especially at Smithsburg, our community they just all come out and support. Like all my senior parents from last year are still coming to do things to help our program this year, whether it's lines, whether it's just being in the stands, or even last night helping film the senior night
Mhm.
stuff. Like it's just the community there is definitely uplifting and fun, and everyone gets into the cheering, and it's an amazing environment for sure.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I love about high school sports is the community aspect, and it's very
Mhm.
involved, and hopefully it never changes because it kind of becomes it's a staple in
Yeah.
the sport itself. So, but
Yeah.
all right, so now let's get back to this business about the NFL. Unfortunately, as you said, you're a Cowboys fan. I'm a Commanders fan. We're doing better than you right now, but no, you guys do have the team. I've always, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I respect the players. I like Dak Prescott. I like Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, he's kind of fallen off a little bit, but he was always fun to watch. And I'm into fantasy football too. So unfortunately, sometimes I have to draft a Cowboy. So sometimes I got to cheer. I got to root them on individually. There was a player I really liked on Dallas, is Marion Barber. He played years ago, and I love the way he ran. And I always wish he would have been a Redskin at the time. But I was always jealous because he was such a tough runner. And I used to go to the games with my mom and my sister, and we went to a Dallas game, and man, the atmosphere was like no other. It was actually, I don't know if you remember the Dallas game where Sean Taylor was still alive, and it was your kicker was Mike Vanderjack, the guy who shanked the ball all the time, and it was the game where Sean Taylor ran in and blocked the kick and ran it back, and I think the Redskins clinched the playoff spot after that. Man, one of the coolest sports moments I've ever witnessed. And anytime anybody ever asks me, that's what I go to is that Dallas Washington game. And
Yeah.
did you grow up as a Cowboys fan? Is your family Cowboys fans?
Yeah, my dad is diehard Cowboys fan, so I
Gotcha.
grew up in that environment. I've been to plenty of NFL games. I have never gone to a Cowboys game. So fake fan, I guess.
No.
But, no.
Technically, they're in Dallas, so it's hard for you to get unless they come to Washington or Baltimore.
Right. But no, so definitely it was a staple in my household growing up. But I will say, speaking of Sean Taylor, I do have, this is so terrible. You'll probably cringe at me saying this. I don't know where it is right now. I have a signed Sean Taylor jersey.
Oh, wow.
Because
you better find that thing.
my mom's best friend was one of the ones that did all of their preseason radiology checks and things like that.
Okay, cool,
so
cool.
For many years. So I've gotten tickets to go see when they were the Redskins a lot.
Yeah.
And we were able to get that. But yeah, I don't know where it is. So, but it's just funny you just brought it up. So
that's awesome. That's really cool. Well, Bree, it's been a pleasure talking to you today. I know you're probably a busy woman. Congratulations on your little one coming soon again.
Thank you.
And hopefully we can touch base here either at the end of the season. We can go over your guys' record. Hopefully you're making another state title run, and we can talk about that.
All right. Yep, that sounds great.
It's the Coach's Corner with Andy.
Covering tri-state sports, it's the Coach's Corner with Andy on 92.1 The GOAT.
If you're following the NFL, you know Derek Carr got injured on Sunday night playing against the Kansas City Chiefs. He strained his oblique against the Kansas City Chiefs Sunday night in Sunday Night Football. Carr is on a week-to-week basis, so getting the starting job on Sunday is going to be rookie Spencer Rattler. Now, Rattler was a 2024 fifth-round draft pick out of South Carolina. The Saints have to play 2 games in 5 days coming up, and if Carr isn't healthy, Rattler is really going to have to step up for not only 1, but 2 games. Those games are against very tough opponents, one being the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday, and a confident, riding a hot streak team in the Denver Broncos on Thursday Night Football. The Saints' offensive line has also been shuffled around a lot lately, that being a part of why Rattler was chosen to replace Carr until Carr can return. Rattler is that mobile quarterback. He can get outside of the pocket. He has the ability to scramble and make plays on the run. The biggest challenge for the Saints is that Rattler's a rookie. He was okay in preseason. He went 20 of 38 on pass attempts. He had 202 yards passing, 1 touchdown and no interceptions while rushing 7 times for 26 yards, but he did lose a fumble. Those rookie jitters can really get to you, especially when you're thrown into the mix like that with a team like the Saints going against 2 tough opponents. We'll see if the offensive line for the Saints can protect Rattler well enough for the team to come away Sunday and possibly Thursday with a win. Lots of baseball happening tonight. Game 4 of the American League Division Series. Cleveland's taking on Detroit. That game time starts at 6:08. The Guardians are going to be starting their hottest pitcher in Game 4 of the American League Division Series, Tanner Bibby. Bibby was outstanding in Game 1. He did only pitch 4 2/3 innings, but he had a 5-0 first inning lead, all thanks to that powerful Cleveland offense. Cleveland's going to have the pitching advantage on Thursday night against Detroit. Though Detroit star pitcher Tariq Skubal looms in the waiting shadows for Game 5. The Guardians can cross that bridge when they get there, if they get there. Game 4 of the American League Division Series between the New York Yankees and the Kansas City Royals happens tonight. Game time starts at 8:08. Ace pitcher Garrett Cole is going to take the mound tonight for the Yankees. He's looking forward to the challenge of beating a tough Kansas City Royals team. The Yankees pitching so far has been on point. They have patience, they have power, they have pitching. It seems to be the ingredients maybe for another World Series run. We'll see. A win tonight would clinch the Yankees' 19th ALCS berth. Game 5 of the National League Division Series between Los Angeles and San Diego is going to happen Friday at 8:08 is the game time. This game's going to be a winner-take-all Friday night. It's only fitting. This series has been exciting, electric, and so much more. The fans in Los Angeles have been rabid and excited for their team. They're ready for another World Series run. The Padres are going to start Yu Darvish for this game, who produced 7 innings of 1-run ball to help deliver a Game 2 victory. Yamamoto will likely start for the Dodgers. The Dodgers are hopeful they could get Freeman to return to the lineup before Friday's game, especially with having today off. There's a big game happening in Baltimore this Sunday. At 1 o'clock, the Washington Commanders will take on the Baltimore Ravens. And if you haven't figured out yet what I'm talking about Jaden Daniels and I'm talking about Lamar Jackson. Almost one and the same quarterback. I mean, play styles are similar. They throw the ball similar. They run the ball. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a great game and one I'm very excited to watch as a Commanders fan. Now, the only thing is, Jaden Daniels really doesn't like the comparison to Lamar Jackson, which I understand. He wants to be his own quarterback. He wants to make his own legacy, which he's clearly doing in Washington. He's doing excellent. He's throwing the ball immaculately. Now, Jackson's thrown for 1,206 yards so far this season and 9 touchdowns, while rushing for another 363 yards and 2 scores. Meanwhile, Daniels has 1,135 yards and 4 touchdowns and has rushed for 300 yards and 4 scores. Both quarterbacks are on pace to surpass 1,000 yards rushing. But while their stats might be comparable, that doesn't mean they're the same quarterback, right? Daniels is his own player, said Jackson. You know, he's his own man. He can really hold it down. He can take care of himself. Daniels said that him and Jackson do have a relationship that goes back some time, but it's kind of like a big bro, little bro relationship. So Daniels said he likes watching good quarterbacks play, and Lamar Jackson is clearly a good quarterback, thriving in Baltimore. It's going to be a fun game to watch for sure. Both the two quarterbacks are elite competitors playing at the highest level. It shows on tape why they extend plays and how they can do it and how good they are. Jackson isn't the only quarterback that Daniels enjoys watching. He said he likes to watch Pat Mahomes, Tom Brady when he played, Aaron Rodgers. Daniels will pick the brains of other NFL quarterbacks as well. I like that in a young quarterback. You really want to learn from the veterans. You want to learn from the best to become the best, right? Daniels, keep up the good work. I can't wait to watch the game this weekend. I've been pleasantly surprised so far this season as a Commanders fan, and it's a nice change, that's for sure.
If you'd like to be featured on the Coach's Corner with Andy, email coach at 921thegoat.com.